believe that is a scheme of money laundering they have employed to cover their tracks and to make sure that they are able to take gold and the proceeds of their illegal gold trading and smuggling activities out without the security agencies detected that. Now the 10 Chinese we are talking about are named Tang Dajin. Who is Tang Dajin? You know what? Good. Then Wang Chongling.
No.
Then Wei Dong. Li Fushu. Wei Shenzing. He Xinlong. Wu Shengwei. Li Reneng. Fan Shenzhan. Who? Raise up your hand. You want to say this way? Good. Then Sheng Zhishang. Who is Sheng Zhishang? Another one. Good. So these are the 10 Chinese. Pardon me if I got your name wrong. It's not my language. So, but these are the 10 Chinese who were arrested, and we got gold on them, we got cash on them, and we got 12 pump action guns, which you can see on the table. So these are very dangerous people, very, very dangerous people. They are doing in Ghana things that Ghanaians will not dream to do in their countries. And we are working with the police to see whether these weapons are even licensed, you know, whether these weapons are even licensed in the first place. And we also got a lot of cartridges that the national security personnel here will make available to you. The casino cards we got, these are not all. We have a lot of them. These are not all. And when you see a casino card like this, it is money. And they are so important to them so that the casino cards were in this two safes, two huge safes that we can make available to you for you to photograph. And these are the pieces of the gold bars that we got from them. You can see that for them to have been able to convert the gold into this form, it means that they have a foundry. Because when you mine gold, it comes in the form of nuggets or powder. So these are gold nuggets and gold powder. You know, for the friends in the media who have not seen gold before, this is how gold usually is. You see, so for them to have converted gold from this form into this form, it means that they brought a lot of this together and actually melted it and casted them into bars, which is what we call smelting. And we of course to believe that they have a lot of gold in their possession. And this gold, they don't export, they smuggle. And when they smuggle, the dollars that must come back for the Bank of Ghana to show up, you know, our foreign reserves and balance of trade payments, so that we can have a strong Ghana cedi, and so that when we go to the market, prices will be affordable, you know, inflation will be under control, because imported goods are being brought in, you know, with a strong Ghana cedi. You won't get that, because these guys are just destroying our country. They don't care about our economy. And that is why the president is supporting us to arrest them and make sure that they face the full rigors of the law. Now, to put this issue beyond doubt, our field operatives, the courageous men belonging to the military, the police, who were tasked to undertake this operation, retrieved very important evidence which has to do with gold trading records of this group of Chinese. So we have hardcore documents with some written in the Chinese language, which captures their gold trading records. So you can't lie that you bought gold from somebody. It's not like we came and you were holding gold and we arrested you, and you were holding cash and guns and we arrested you. No. You see, in gold trading, there is a way gold traders write receipts. All the things you see in my hand here are gold receipts. So you will see the density, you will see the weight, the gross weight, you will see the purity, you will see the price per pound. All these documents I'm holding are gold receipts. So these are the receipts that most gold traders use in Ghana. They don't use the normal receipts that you are accustomed to. So when you see this on somebody, then you know clearly that the person is in the business of buying gold. And currently, it's a crime for a foreigner to buy gold in Ghana. So we know what we are talking about. All these records, even though we don't understand China or the Chinese language, we've gotten an interpreter who is working with our investigators. And it is very clear that these are all records of gold that has been bought over a long period of time. And so we will pursue this matter to its logical conclusion. We want to get to the bottom of it. We want to know who is behind them. We want to know who is sponsoring them. How much gold have they bought over the period? Where is that gold? How is the gold taken out? Who are their accomplices? Are there any Ghanaian accomplices, if any? We are working on that, and we shall update the public accordingly. And as I indicated at our last press conference, enough of the deportations. We deported foreigners who were caught illegally buying gold at the time the grace period was in force. Now the grace period is over, and we are giving countless warnings upon warnings. And so when you are arrested now, there will not be anything like deportation. And so we have instructed the investigators to build a watertight case based on this solid evidence that the field operatives have made available to them. And by tomorrow, they will be arraigned before courts. We'll be praying the court to remand them into custody for further investigations. And it is our hope that we'll get a favorable outcome. And we are very clear in our minds that we will be prosecuting them. And we are hopeful that the law will take its course and will secure conviction for them to be jailed. And the offense attracts an imprisonment term of a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 10 years. In some cases, even in some cases, you can go in for 25 years. So these are very, very serious offenses. Now, before I conclude, I want to...
Members of the Council of State, Presidential Advisor on 24-hour economy and your team, Ministers of State and senior government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, traditional leaders, CEOs and captains of industry, heads of our security agencies, and let me just use the salutation used by former President, beloved former President Jonathan Mills, my brothers and sisters. I want to thank you very much for this morning. Today marks the formal launch of the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development program, what we now proudly call the 24H Plus agenda. This is more than a policy initiative. It is a national reset, a bold strategic shift to unlock our country's full productive potential. Today, we reclaim our founders' vision of a self-reliant, industrious, and inclusive African nation that works with organized creativity and ensures prosperity for all. So what are the origins of the 24H vision? The vision behind the 24-hour economy and the accelerated export development program was born from reflection during and after my previous term in office. Between 2016 and 2020, it became increasingly clear that Ghana, like many African countries, is trapped in a model of an equal exchange. We export raw materials and we import refined finished products. We ship cocoa, gold, timber, and oil abroad, only to repurchase them as chocolates, jewelry, furniture, and fuel at a far greater cost. This model does not serve our people. It has never served our people. It generates foreign jobs It fuels foreign economies and funds foreign healthcare and education systems. While our youth remain unemployed, our industry stagnates and our imports balloon. We had laid the essential foundation then for energy infrastructure, for roads, for ICT systems and human capital investment. But we knew that we needed to go further. And that meant we needed an integrated, bold, and coherent approach that dismantled the silos of past policies. The 24-hour plus program is that collective answer. And so we've moved from slogan to strategy today. In 2020 and again in 2024, thank you. In 2020 and again in 2024, the idea of a 24-hour economy captured national attention. It became a slogan of hope, a symbol that change was necessary and that it was possible. Our task now is to move from vision to implementation, from aspiration to action. This launch is not the end, but it is the beginning of a massive national mobilization. But let me be clear here. The 24H Plus agenda is not simply about extending working hours. It is about unleashing productivity, expanding opportunity, accelerating exports through well-structured, multi-sectoral, and inclusive interventions. And so we'll have national consultation and co-design. And over the past 6 months, the 24-hour plus secretariat under the presidential advisor, Mr. Guzitano, and his team, has undertaken an extensive national engagement process. They've listened to entrepreneurs, both large and small, both formal and informal. They've listened to organized labor, cooperatives, farmers, and traders. They've listened to artists, technologists, traditional rulers, and religious bodies. They've consulted with diaspora groups, development agencies, investors, and infrastructure experts. They've talked to youth and women's organizations, scientists, and educational institutions. Alongside the private sector, the Secretariat has worked with government ministries, departments, and agencies to align regulatory, fiscal, and institutional frameworks to the program. The 24-hour plus agenda comprises synergistic sub-programs that are tailored to key value chains. And you must have heard the ministers mentioning them. These include Grow 24. Now, Grow 24 is about boosting agricultural productivity, agro-processing, and food security. Make 24 is about revitalizing our manufacturing and industrialization. Build 24 is about accelerating infrastructure, construction, housing, and public works. Show 24 is about harnessing Ghana's rich creative, cultural, and tourism assets. And Connect 24 is about fixing our logistic chains, transport warehousing, ports, energy, and digital infrastructure. And Fund 24 is about unlocking innovative financing through credit guarantee schemes, blended finance, and venture capital. Aspire 24 is about building the skills of our people, our values, our ethics, and digital capacity for competitiveness. And Go 24 is about mobilizing all sectors, religious, security, academic, and civic, for national productivity and pride. This structure ensures depth and focus. We're not attempting to fix everything everywhere all at once. We're targeting high-impact, job-rich, and export-oriented sectors with strong forward and backward linkages. And now, so what is the famous Volta Economic Corridor we're talking about? That is our flagship anchor. While the 24-hour plus program is national in scope, our flagship intervention is the Volta.
The initiative waives academic user fees for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions across the country. It fulfills a key campaign promise from John Mahama during the 2024 elections and aligns with his broader Reset Ghana agenda aimed at alleviating financial pressure on vulnerable families and empowering the younger generation. The policy has already seen substantial uptake. Data from the Student Loan Trust Fund reveals that nearly 130,000 students had registered online by mid-June, with over 100,000 completing the application process. For the Student Loan Trust Fund, this is the beginning of improved student loans livelihood.
We are also preparing, ladies and gentlemen, to roll out the Students Loan Plus initiative at the beginning of the 2025-2026 academic year. This initiative, as we know, would provide comprehensive support for continuing students to ensure that barriers that constrain access to equal opportunities are removed.
Education Minister Haruna Idrisu says a major cabinet decision will hit Parliament in the coming days.
Next year, the GET Fund will double its allocation to the Student Loan Trust from 70 million to 150 million to support students who may want to access it further. I will next week, on your behalf, in honor of one of your campaign promises, lay the Scholarship Authority Bill before Parliament to deal with the nepotism, cronyism that was associated with the award of scholarship.
Launching the policy that has seen some 15,000 students already receiving their fees, the president justified why he mooted the idea.
School had opened, he had not gone to register because his family had not yet harvested their crops to sell and be able to raise the money for him to go. So again, we had to intervene and sort out the academic fees for the young man to go to school. So we realized that these are not isolated stories. These are real stories of people.
He said there must be no difficulty for any student entering tertiary going forward.
Behind each number I mentioned is a face and a dream deferred. Tertiary education is not just about a certificate. It is the engine that powers a modern society. It is the engine that creates teachers, doctors, engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, and public servants. It spurs innovation, it deepens civic responsibility, and fosters national identity. Students in fee-paying programs without regular track equivalents will receive a reimbursement of up to 2,500 cedis for their academic fees. This policy is complementary, it's not substitutionary. It does not replace existing allowances and loans, but it lightens the heaviest burden, that is the cost of entry, that keeps thousands of brilliant students outside the gates of institutions like this. This policy is not about welfare, it is about fairness. It is about restoring dignity to the Ghanaian student. It is about affirming that the right to education is not a privilege for only the wealthy, but it's a shared national inheritance.
It was a key campaign promise by the then candidates of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, ahead of the 2024 general elections. The policy was aimed at easing the financial burden on tertiary students, their parents, and guardians while enhancing access to higher education. 20-year-old Bridget Asare of the University of Ghana is among the 49,000 first-year students whose fees have been reimbursed under the no-fee stress policy. She is studying political science, information studies, and theatre arts. Receiving over 2,000 cedis will surely go a long way to support her academic journey.
I was very, very happy because I wasn't having any money. So when I received it, I was like, wow. And what he said, he meant it, and he has surely done it. And I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy.
But you know that the money has to be returned to your parents?
My parents? It's true. They give it to me. I'll tell them, but the money, I'll take it. It's mine.
The no-fee stress policy definitely comes as a relief in a quest for higher education, she tells me.
Next year, if I don't have money to pay my fees, which is maybe my parents are facing financial difficulty, I can probably use this money to pay. If it's still with me, yeah, I have to even think about it. I can use it to pay for my next year fees. Yes, and it will really help me.
Well, Bridget has received her fund, and prior to this, there were those that were a bit skeptical about the policy, so they failed to register when the portals were open. But now, after seeing the evidence, they are rushing in mad numbers to register because the portals have been activated. Personally, you didn't register?
No, I didn't.
What was the reason behind that?
I didn't think it was true. And secondly, I checked on Google and they were saying they will pay it to us second year. So I didn't think they will give it back to us.
So now that you've seen some friends have benefited, you want to go and then register now?
I want to know if we can still register now.
But I hear the portal is opened.
We were trying yesterday, but it was not working.
Other students have lauded the president for being intentional with the policy, describing it as more than just political talk.
A lot of parents want to get the exact money for their children to pay the school fees. So I think the government giving us back our school fees will help us.
It will help reduce the stress on parents as well and those who have to prepare their wards for school. The government has really helped in taking up this lift on us.
It would go a long way to help me because I can save the money for some one or two stuff.
So far, more than 140,000 students have applied through the official web portal. For those that have registered and are yet to receive their funds, that will be done right after validation, according to the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachi Ofusu. George Quenin, TV3 News, University of Ghana, Accra.
And simplified access. And as you were just informed, next year, the money allocated to the student loan scheme is going to be doubled. And so you will also expect a doubling of your student loan. Then we also have the free tertiary education for persons with disability. To ensure full inclusion and compliance with our obligations under the Disability Act, all persons with disability shall have free tertiary education from first year until they complete. And as I told you already, there will be increased student loan amounts which will reflect the real cost of tertiary education, and it will be adjusted annually for inflation. We also have diversified student funding mechanism, including targeted scholarships for underrepresented communities and disciplines that are vital to our national development. In addition, students in fee-paying programs without regular track equivalents will receive a reimbursement of up to 2,500 cedis for their academic fees. Ladies and gentlemen, this policy is complementary, it's not substitutionary. It does not replace existing allowances and loans, but it lightens the heaviest burden, that is the cost of entry, that keeps thousands of brilliant students outside the gates of institutions like this. This policy is not about welfare, it is about fairness. It is about restoring dignity to the Ghanaian student. It is about affirming that the right to education is not a privilege for only the wealthy, but it's a shared national inheritance. Education is the grand equalizer. It bridges the gap between where a child is born and what the child can become. This policy ensures that geographical location, gender, disability, or socio-economic background will no longer determine who can sit in a university lecture hall. Across the world, countries are embracing the value of publicly supported tertiary education. In Germany, public universities charge no tuition fees, not even for most international students. In Norway, Finland, and Scotland, all these countries have adopted similar models, recognizing that education is not a cost to be feared, but it is an investment to be protected. These countries have, as a result, developed highly skilled populations, reduced youth unemployment, and increased social mobility and enhanced civic engagement. Ghana must not be left behind. We must prioritize our people's intellectual capital as our greatest asset. It is a distinct honor for me to address this closing ceremony of the post-election conference held under the compelling theme, Dialoguing for a Stronger Democracy and Social Cohesion.
87.9 Kumasi.
I commend the organizers and participants for their tireless efforts and deep reflection over the past few days. As mandated by Article 35(6) of our 1992 Constitution, the state is enjoined to actively promote the integration of the peoples of Ghana and prohibit discrimination and prejudice on the grounds of place of origin, circumstances of birth, ethnic origin, gender, or religion. This constitutional obligation goes to the heart of national unity and peaceful coexistence, which are the bedrock of our democracy. I've often said that peace is indispensable to national development, like salt is indispensable to a good soup. Without peace, we cannot create jobs, we cannot expand opportunities, we cannot improve education, we cannot attract investment or build a just society. This is why our founding president, Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, and successive presidents after him made the pursuit of peace and national unity a central pillar of their governance. In this spirit, during the recent inauguration of the new governing board of the National Peace Council, I emphasize the continuing importance of their role in safeguarding Ghana's peace before, during, and after elections. Dr. Nkrumah's commitment to peaceful, non-violent pathways to change remains relevant even today. Indeed, in a world increasingly plagued by instability and polarization, Ghana must hold fast to the principles of tolerance, dialogue, and peaceful dispute resolution. The 2024 Global Peace Index ranks Ghana 55th globally out of 163 countries, a 4-place drop from our 2023 position. While we retain 4th place in sub-Saharan Africa, we remain number 1 as the most peaceful country in West Africa. It is a wake-up call, a signal that we must be more vigilant, proactive, and committed to addressing the root causes of discord in our society.
87.9 Kumasi.
The government, in collaboration with the National Peace Council and civil society, has implemented a range of interventions to deepen national consensus, strengthen conflict prevention mechanisms, and foster public trust in the institutions that underpin our democracy, especially those responsible for elections, investigations, and prosecution of electoral offenses. Elections are by nature high-stake events. They are contests of ideas and ideologies, often influenced by deeply held convictions and competing visions for national development. While Ghana once again demonstrated its democratic resilience in the 2024 elections, culminating in a largely peaceful transfer of power, We cannot ignore that the process was marred by isolated acts of violence in some constituencies. Let me use this platform to unequivocally condemn these acts of violence and call for swift accountability for the perpetrators. I requested that the IGP expedite investigations into these acts of electoral violence and bring the perpetrators to justice. The Attorney General is also working on a report to be presented to Cabinet for adequate compensation to be paid to victims and relatives of those affected by the violence. Let me take this opportunity to commend the Electoral Commission, our security services, civil society organizations, political parties, and the electorate for their collective role in ensuring that Ghana's democratic credentials remain intact.
That at the meeting with the Electoral Commission on 1st July, our representatives, in the presence of Evans Nimakon, our Director of Research and Elections, and Ebenezer Nati, Honorable Ebenezer Nati, former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central, representing our party, vehemently opposed the position of the Electoral Commission. So it cannot be that after extensive discussion, the EC...
Our second vice chairperson of the New Patriotic Party, Madam Rita Asobare, who is chairing this important activity. Your Excellency, John Ajekum Kufuor, our revered former president of this great country. Your Excellency, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bamia, the former vice president and former flag bearer of our party. Our chairman of the National Council of Elders, Honorable Hakman Owusu Ajiman, Right Honorable Professor Aaron Maikwe, our keynote speaker for this August.
In the presence of Evans Nimakon, our Director of Research and Elections, and Ebenezer Nati, Honorable Ebenezer Nati, former Member of Parliament for Ablekuma Central, representing our party, vehemently opposed the position of the Electoral Commission. So it cannot be that after extensive discussion, the EC painting the picture as if the parties there agreed to their roadmap. The MPP reps at the meeting opposed to the Electoral Commission's position, and that was our position at the meeting, just for the records. For the avoidance of doubt, the New Patriotic Party finds the Electoral Commission's sudden U-turn on Ablekuma North stalemate as not only shocking, but also disingenuous and unlawful. The party thus completely rejects the decision of the Commission to rerun the polling station elections in the said 19 polling stations, and we shall proceed to advance our reasons. It will be recalled that the High Court, Accra, on 4th January 2025, granted an application filed by the MPP to compel the EC to conduct its constitutional and statutory duty of completing the constituency coalition exercise in 4 outstanding constituencies, which were Ablekuma North, Tema Central, Okaipe Central, and Techima South. The High Court specifically ordered the Inspector General of Police to provide adequate and armed security to the EC to complete the coalition and to declare the winners of the parliamentary elections in these constituencies. The EC and the IGP have since complied with the court order to collate and declare the winners of the parliamentary results in these outstanding constituencies except Ablekumanov. In the specific case of Ablekumanov, the High Court ordered the EC to complete the collation of the remaining 64 polling stations out of a total of 281 polling stations in the constituency. It is on record that on many occasions that the EC tried to complete the
Some other people, tomorrow it may be their EC must come here and brief us why, in spite of their being unequivocal, they have now changed course. We must not allow this.
Oh, sign it there. I become NDC and Rabinano because my men were here. And I have since 1992 NDC Uncle Parliament, you know, and because Martinez why you would such as it. But Mammy and Rabina or the sister Biaba constituency anymore. I'm a politician. I call Jamaya and Panasam and Panasam. Papa on Panasam Pitty or Pamanasam. Such as it. In Rabana there. And Rabana, Omuke Committee Krana, yet the Naga Twamano. Such as it. Omuke and Sako Committee Kra, yet the Naga Committee Twamano.
I mean, yes, sir. Abanese at 24. Na me migiri say NDC ma me no e modern bo awabo no area ne mo awabo ani kwa me free say oba e be bo aye wo area ya Ewurabra obi ye nto aba ne ma Ewurabra wa ya de wa bo aye wo area apa MPP for ba ye won pupu bia be ma me no comedy MP no e mo awabo ani pa wo broni so a ene single mothers ba no obo almost kasam wo problem bia wo ko ka kire na no wa so mu to be dem yan say Ewurabra anye den o wini am ka mepe
abade de ya de ikokrobotin de ni nyina beto tu ni nyina na how NDC and beto amano right.
Don't touch that dial. Obvious question that flows from this is what then becomes of foreigners who
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi. Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi. Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi. Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi.
It's coming tomorrow. Morning, Ghana. Good morning, Hassan. And Saturday, the 5th day of the month of July, the year 2025. 8 minutes after 8. Higher Kuma 87.9 FM. Pause on your most authoritative weekend political talk show in town. When some so and anano pay says Shebio. Mr. Breakupim said, no do ball. Better say like you from 6:30 and Yamau Eniema I see within the week. Na yamu hu dia koso nyina a lot of things and I see on our watch a lot of them. Abino policies ahodoa officially all launching. Yeah, and also so I am pie boy. Nyina no ane say nyina ane say na watching Ghana. Yeah, that's the hop. The first day of the month of July, Republic Day. Yeah, the bonfire. Sugu nyankopon so. Say onshore omayi na said the omayi siko. Eniema esiko nyankopon cross one cry. Dana say maybe or dear bedroom. Because already a coso country said here who is here. As a man Ghana, yet here. Yankupon coso one here mobile. Non kind home. And of course the launch of 24-hour economy with some 8 interconnected sub-programs. Company John Dramani Mahama launching wiki move. There were a Grow 24 and no target here Greek. Make 24 air manufacturing. Build 24 air infrastructure. Fund 24 air financing. Show 24 creative economy and tourism. Connect 24 and no air for logistics. Aspire 24 human capital development. And I feel Go 24 and governance and economic and civic engagement. And now we have a lot of questions. I share the framework just transformation. The target is that by 4 years' time, we are creating 1.7 million jobs. 1.7 million jobs. See, I know you're there. So far, I say program no. Ebe here $4 billion. We know the yes, our man and eco for security and the Abasi and Fanny. That is the target to achieve it fully. $4 billion. The private sector no and ebe leading near money now. Abai so maya coincident fama. Nemom. Said the Bayer na obetimi ahisha near my yen. Ibi adadi. But as we speak, no fee stress policy officially. President John Dramani Mahama at the SDA College of Education as a curriculum for India launching officials and also Swaba Betoga and Gold Board within the week and so a presser na the CEO at the Gold Board Samijan V Esquire say Omo de Nsembe Bratuja Omo awone foreigners say ade no a friend gold to and see a different member ya mo bi akwan di say wo ho so this na ikanu sika wo se mu yedu say the be ya betimi e de ato na wo de akọ kuma o tokra no fan free man o to through football na o de aye niam sika na transfer ko go board no mo a convert it to its equivalent city value from $5 million na the equivalent city value number na on sack then you use that one na o de abeto e wa ha gold board ejinade say be free chrome ha ko de there o so set up refinery yes obehia license from the gold board. I saw set up jewelry manufacturing company and also so a call to gold board. I know crown gold now say ode by refinery now say over here jewelry manufacturing company how gold also taught a different gold board. This is good, man. This is good. Of course, Ibenya Brenia share the Electoral Commission's decision to rerun elections. There were 19 polling stations kaya commission de betu dwa say about 2 customers obekaya I just want to remind you how the commission and there may be a auto dwa so obekaya electoral commission echo parliament ema omone MPC kodi nkomo na nkomodie ni mu no na electoral commission do twi as oh na ye crowd dey say no Ablekumanov abato na etre aka 3 polling stations a ye betimi crowd na here police protection keke na putu niam together na ya hwe na bibia to ave commission yete ya commission say wo mo ne NPP ni NDC ahia ama MPP ni NDC omo obi aka nasem na from NDC side no mo say some of the polling stations results by no na a scanned copies and electoral commission at the najuma I mean as in or quality results no through scanned copies of the pink sheet na I mean commission say NDC position no na a clear say about 13 out of the 37 polling stations no nyina no munya kra na nka e wo se omuye nyina. That is according to commissioning statement or the by or say the NDC held the view that the election should be rerun in 37 polling stations because scanned pink sheets from 37 polling stations were used to collate the results. And they were provided by the MPP according to the Electoral Commission statement on the buy. And the NDC is also the MPP the answer say the MPP was also of the view that the result from the 3 outstanding polling stations be collated and winner declared. Into among the say 3 na outstanding na young quality you know. One quality na omon declare winner no. Commissioner say after extensive deliberations with the political parties, MPP and NDC, Omo Ajiatumu say election no Omo every running 19 out of the 37 polling stations. Nafe Omo and declare result. In fact, commission crowd Omo a set date, which is 11th July. Say womo ade beto abano NPP ese debi saa de no de womo ntiase because commissioner no ya doso dodo omo nsem ne ya doso too much and then way ochina way which one should we believe in? But NPP for who say isi for person omo positions in command and say Kosuntino. What we be to impress this administration. That is according to the NPP and even in parliament. The minority leader Krano made mention. After Markin made mention of the fact that is it because Nancy commentaries be able say commission no any competent. Now they want to do that one because mpanifo sure omunti on person mo yes na okay and now no pay ba chan for wa oba mebusa no see anom koko national I think next meetings near there mebusa no say sa na wo mo say wo mo hwe another anopay ye be san komo no as we speak per data e be to dwa for inflation in this country. Data no for the year for the month last month June 2025 Ghana inflation no every 18.4 about 13.7. Now what this one means then is the rate ya tun niema ebu okọ nanimu no esoti. But let's put it here. On say ya we ya na ya na nkomo ekoso no say inflation ba from pe ye say niema boa mum na ayefo inflation no ene say the rate at which a okọ edwam a niema boa etutum no ena aba from nti it can happen that within the month June no na niema boa enkosoro said de na ekọ no nti se bia wokoto ade wodwam na wo de ba fie wo beduru fie na ase akosua na no me koto ade wa ntemansa ho nti koto bi bre me 1 week e bia ma the 10 series a okoya 1 week no ba ya osema me koya no anti akosua se 1 series abeka because niema abo ya tutum sa rate no ani ehu no eno na isi aba form. That is the understanding. Na o share food inflation a food inflation a drop from May May it was 22.8 in May and June about 16.3. Is the one said by the crown so started ba na no asante mampoma say by the ba in a Google hey mumeto. So that is that. Now let's not forget to say abino 1 cedi on a liter. Buy ya GRA can so suspending no. Within the week so no GRA for reminding you said that's all. Na nyame adomo the first pricing window for the month July and on be 16th. In fact, window no be on 15th of every month. The second window. First window is the first day of the month. Second window the 15th day of the month. And your second window your day eshe assess the world market, interest rate and other things. Exchange rate ni nyina ka ho bi. Ni ahwe na ida say ye be adjusting and ase beba form. Enti the next window for this month 15th no GRA say sa one Ghana no it is coming. It is coming. It is coming. Anopay yaba be din komo na yahwe said ye eniema sitie as usual Mira bizamo a watena se na yaba be hwe said ye no so na wonim say eno am checks e kire say common fund no meduru yonyama assemblies no enyamai but information am peke and say as also training be for orientation because for MMDCs which are likely say be cost within this next week na omu wia na omo send omo budget whatever at the concrete then I call review ntomu reviewer so they may pick no the first quarter the no may hit the accounts of various MMDCs or various MMDs by either the last week of this month or by the first week of the month of August. Abusia, sa abusumi no anso na nyame ya adomo a. Fufu Akuma FM fufu party. Any August dia no no. Shebia shema dano ebere pa. Enti eno ye the month of August e de eno no nyame adoma 9th August 2025 said the besi di no we are the 4th edition of Akuma FM fufu party do here ne wayoa potoyoa ba pa twima kofifie bra untwi a oba e betwi bia ma Zamu bia boko de.
Nyame adom boko.
Minim say we beba say yi Father's Day. Baby ya Father's Day na. Da no cross am me nda ne say no. Nyame ya adom a. We beba show.
Do you ha?
Do you free ha na just.
Dem. Anbavu.
Everybody nyankopon. Everybody nyankopon.
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi.
Say bibia boko de.
Nyame adom bibia boko.
Ya da nyame ase. Ya da nyame ase pa na a lot of activities are koso now what we are busy for the president yes moving from one end National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving the launch of 24-hour economy the launch of no fee stress. And this week in Sokrano, and sanitary parts, no. And so there was there was an event on that. Within the week, we could pay baby directorate be education. Ana omo ateki delivery. Omo receive sanitary parts. Na baby drew. I'm say wow. Ntimi am say da ko busa say na we I'm say call basic. Nti basic no we have from class 5 and then kwada is eja. Omo do any DNA niementi no. Basic for no class 6 for no class 5 class 6 for no. Omo benya bi ni ade. I was able to monitor and also as well. Nti week here very 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 busy for them. But Ms. Abo, may starting from the 24 hours. 87.9 but minim say bia will be cancer na and no bad
sana you know sanitary party.
Yeah.
You just say one of the programs you buy a boapa be boama nkra no haro because mekai this is the beer maybe now we do dance the life so now we school no maybe now Christo ni ontime nko ene ma nkrofo ye basa ne bi oni score the top part the busu yan force so just school no mu no right admit no
wow
to know you so graphic
hey
graphic na no
87.9 Kumasi
graphic na no this year
no you so graphics
ata na graphic na hobby brain graphic na no this year no there we are that alone I respect her so now
anyway
the idea say aben bia balance with na hwe niema saa eboama nkura no ehun haro because ye da chi no mu ndimi kan say omu no nya adwumenti ye nya omu so saa na nyo bia so na busuafo ebetimi handle those things especially you know say any matna me say me fie mangwa no
I see mama no nye mangwa
so you see these things and you have to make sure say o mankura no nko ahochire bi musa so mko ahochire mu a amhwe ya no afrochi a best stress down na ko any
yeah that's true
no crap say only sa na manaba me say policy only aba no because him say boa first no mo keka no so na gana for nyu ni so mo keka no ko mo kan ko but at least as a we must start your more year near ma bebre for instance now no
87.9 Kumasi
so ask ya no so betu ama students
no fee stress
yeah so encourage you mu you did money kama and we say it's very important. Now, this is assemblies. Usual kai. Idea say for a very long time. This is assemblies. You can't decentralization, but you see it more of a centralized decentralization. Because this is assembly. Befan say, I had municipality. Asukwa municipality. Na say, uko fabe eti say, idea. In fact, a remote area be a assembly. Omu needs need different.
Yeah.
As you make kaboom.
Call a Suta Kwama be postal.
Suta Kwama postal. Plan brains. The needs are different.
Yeah.
And so by kaboom, you better TV near to a better in every crime. Will be budget. You will be the anymore. No to TV ni nyina ni abecha mo mu nyina ni bangwa wo hia TV bo na ni akoto friends
akuma efe
adom ni hiti ni mebra round the hiti ni anu
the microwave
na da kwa kusi afram prince what the year no kan bangwa dia so that touch am bia
yeah
it is an manu ya dia amma assemblies no asa ye brew musica de bia na musica mo common fund aba common fund na ba ni nyina it doesn't come in cash, it comes in kind in the way bia emmo assembly no so na de call no
yeah
and nothing na we say no our model ban and the good thing is that we say no it's not going to be 80% of it but 88% to my increases so we may need assessment. There's the need. So we do training once. Because you almost say, MDCs, they cannot even, they don't know even how to handle and manage resources and funds. This one training who said this manager. You can be very intelligent, knowledgeable in many things, but fund management.
That orientation.
We have that orientation. Don't form that orientation. But I check. The same command that so me you match it. You match.
Nansen no call back. Back you call crying.
Yeah.
I'm going by I'm crying new one.
Okay.
And I'm penica so mundi claw assets. And say you look at it and monitor declaration of assets.
That's what's very important.
Yes, very, very important. A reminder to them.
Because
most of them and sanitation day. Or most of them a clean up exercise or more. But more asset declaration.
Very important.
Very important.
Because I can say. We bought why Skebia bears a beer 1 million cities ground. We be that. We will be a cacra for an account small kaboom over a year the album. But say cash booms that will say 1 million. We will be that. And we will pet not be a machine on yet. We will not what if I the Bianam can maybe a 100,000 cities a check. A chepa full cash, 900, 300. Minya cash, not the backgrounds one woman. What am I Friday?
Oh, as all got down on Saturday, Sunday.
Brave brave pa. Saturday, what you buy with the dead? We wish you grab some bombs money back over there. Oh, baby.
Sikana Bema.
What does it?
Yay!
And me break pa sana man demand on papa first na me call bank na and am hojo me so obi o ha ohunu sa de bi da se wo hunu sa de no pe see just can man your sense ke de yeso your common fund number bia 25 million is it 25 million Ghana cedis na edemtifu bu hunu say e kina yi afina plans na bentrim say ni menya mi medie the mabedi me ba we kwa bridge me do be say ni nyina no but they need training
but what him say here can say me zamu e ba no so no aban no aye e the guidelines e the account I'm sharing that one with the team now your project or your Facebook or aban the guidelines be account watch this scan be e ba be
yeah
say the be bia obi ade e be
you know there say no there can you better not credit. But any pan I had the aqua. Say any pan say only positive mindsets say or per se or shedda a barbara bo won't take cron. Say the tea be obey to make you try to create can be. So that's it. And it's animals you idea as say number than Americans say moral fiber and your value systems ya upgrading on ya and shinia. In fact, one year. You didn't bet to baby be escaping your piano. You was Uncle Square one. I said, when I typically now no EBM, I was so excited. Japan. Now, Umu road tools, no. Use electronics. And no more in the jam for 37 hours. In the jam way. International will be a number in be a tool we are no on the Mukwa. After say a buy no. Na 24,000 cars and I'll cross the tools near you. When you say 21,000 call back a good years can.
Okay.
Ghana. I know that how I had a baby welcome.
I know a pentam cry.
What does it? A child say, Umunoma build Umura, to a certain level beer. Pese umbesi abai because abai so nsisi o
yeah
nti san den na ese ye de hye Ghana fo ne tim do mo ade mo to bia no train no mo ko no mo ma he no so nyeki attitude na change no mo ska no mo so bri no ska na kiran ko pese we say de obi aye no ye de sa ye ndimi ko eni ma say nation
okay
nti mo build sa de no ma ye pa
and you share guidelines abai de ba ya how the common fund will be used to develop anti budget na various assemblies there. This is it. 25% of the amount transferred is to be utilized for design and construction of 24-hour economy model markets. 10% for construction of health facilities, minimum 2 chip compounds per assembly. 10% for construction of educational facilities, 1 KG block, 1 primary school block, and 1 junior high school block. 10% for provision of potable water, minimum of 10 boreholes for rural assemblies. They now can be say we know, or more I specific on that. Say yes, I mean more assemblies are a war far from the urban we know. Yes, 10% for environmental sanitation, solid and liquid waste management, 10% for provision of school furniture, 5% for administration of the assemblies, including monitoring and evaluation. And now there is an element of 25%. Abane say, completely abandoned legacy projects, including some of the numerous uncompleted structures left behind by the Middle Belt Authority, Coastal Development Authority, and the Northern Development Authority. Indeed, this is what they shared with them. Now, indeed, I know so far the I don't know. Many about cool Facebook or say a friend of K dance say common fund no. I say I hate say the accounts of MMDS on Wednesday. And I am sure any MMDC is in him. I don't know what I say also muhu na bibia. Me nimba be free body, but me checks the assemblies. I did that on Thursday. I did that enra. Some of the assemblies.
Holiday.
Yes, I did that because about Thursday, about Wednesday now. Then it means that say chief executives should be aware. Anna.
If you scam PDD, if you are ban, why didn't kakra? Because the moons are bad people who got because no, but me, I intentionally asked them say.
Some of them, I intentionally asked some of them say, Sikanaba, Mzo Debi, Inyamai, and Kennedy, this a member of parliament. Kennedy was saying Yako posted something on the Facebook also this week. Ebusa me I don't trigger that discussion me here so checks to confirm say whether this can ban as my but most of the MMDCs
so Wednesday Thursday go and twantemo the bia so mo Sunday kra abetomo ebuka no munya alert Thursday ni twantemo nto china ekosiara if Friday was holiday and next so yanko djuma o china ekosiara Monday ekosi huebe na awtwe aba we mai be hu anyway the Bible so how much is about do the see kakra. Come here, see. I will be we can with
anyway, so okay, so also that was this past Wednesday. Okay. Well, we'll still wait for Monday because and then I pay many some MMDC said in common. Not in the Ashanti region alone. I went beyond the Ashanti region crown to speak to some of them.
They have a platform. Tell us they keep quiet.
Oh, sir.
Oh, yes.
Hey, but that should be a good news.
Oh, no. When can say munye di kakra. Njema next week. We oh my said now.
Well, but I know said Nyami Aduma next week on Beba training. I think next week Wednesday or Thursday on Beba training RCC. Ashanti region there or no RCC. I know you need about this.
The master has so here pa. Training. Any monitoring evaluation. Yes, it will be around here. This can be about 30%.
Also, I'm 5 normal for you.
A bit more so. To me, very careful. And sir, we been bar was about that hotel. No, not Omakwe. You know, I receipt. No, I could scan. Sana many say you have to be careful. Oh, I'm telling you the fact. What I say? Umbe baha, ubi beko hotel na board ni pa no da kwaji invoice. No akoda that must send you no. What I say? no akwaji ska kese no. It's important.
No,
now they have
but
we have to give them guidelines here. Expenditure guidelines is very important.
Mizamwa.
Yes, somebody is getting
allocate ebia 5,000 ama me say training na me ba no me kai be bo ho no. The hotel 3,000. Me feeding 2,000.
You better move the anu so.
Me ba say no na allocate na say me buy makonya ana me wo abi wa around na jama ko be baby adana me be me 3,000 that was
Sanya man na esi twa so no
anya money o because me koda ya sa na be tue o sa hotel wana makokoda baby na ma me 3,000
enya ma e koso pa ba ko a e ba bank pa no the omni hotels no kunaivo. They are called big invoices.
Oh no, I know they I don't support. But my point is that say allocate 5,000 mommy. Now me my quarter baby na me say me from 5,000 mommy.
Ghana, you because many are making make a macro. Small no omudi no can be more is kaka pa. And they very careful. Near my ninkomos, near money to be a public service piano. Any comes won't take advantage, say a Nabaya band will be this car. Near teacher of mine because of mine with me, Jan Nazwa. The old baby on the Sabeka. Now be doing in area as or qua, now go translate there.
Miss Amama, that's it. Doctor Samuel Free.
Yes, sir.
Doc, we are boko there.
Ah, Yamian, we are mabo.
Ya the Yamiase, ya the Yamiase. Mahu, oh, Mahumia Mahu. Me ano susumu wi ase no ya nya sa na ma ne de nyankopon bie mani. E ma me hu.
Eni na bie ne aduane a nipa di.
Susumu wi ase no.
Oh, nipa ko hunhum kwaje vision a ndi wo hu we se bia dachi bia.
Eno men kan radio so.
Ya de aduane de na aduane na hu.
Eno yesif ma meka kiro.
Aduane na hu.
Me mo me hu se wadidi. Wan ka kran ka meka je se asa no pay. Me hwe wani ma me hu se kokobi. Wachi kokobi kakra.
Oh, me di kokobi ko pepa me di am ho fantastic moto endi.
Elbus Evans. Wo ya na ma che no. Eno de sa hu wi ase de ne.
Sa aduane
visi no me wo pa. Anyway, my ancient command edi. Zamo started from no fee stress and oka MMDs no so the delay in the release of common fund and how it's affecting near my cost. Well, currently or saying I could or say is it that a buying empese or best spend it to put pressure on government the expenditure. Go who say I managing the expenditure and such that wait me stabilize the city because there will be a little pressure on a whole lot of things in Kennedy or saying but I mean we are also getting information. Someone is giving us information say I hate it Wednesday, you know. Yeah, we cannot trust the source but we will give that room for I mean possibility say a bit me I say nah but me checks and I no pay from anyone be Canada. Obi any who confirm I'm sending and as I hitting accounts more Obi Timaka say he has it. We are waiting for training.
87.9 Kumasi.
Doc.
Yes sir. Me chair Mr. Amo and a team for any for Facebook. Sir John, now what's your news?
Dear here.
Say common fund.
A news pow Doc. The money news they say here.
No, it's not a process where Adibi wa ya me hu say ye yan kasa ne bia na ye nim de ye na ye to aguru bi sebi we ni so.
Akuma FM 87.9.
This is a formality. It's a governmental administrative formality. Common fund my. Yeah. Why this? I'm not blaming this government alone. Why do we handle ourselves in this way? I'm not saying it's a way administrative pay. Why do we have to discuss this? common fund my na be topic yeah aba we say my I think we was here nyini wo ye democracy mu ne jai saa nneoma sebi ye formality ye was ade no eba na ye higher
we first quarter dey na you na first quarter see you second quarter
you say John make say ade no was say
eba saa pressure is on MMDCs
Debio.
As we speak,
yes.
Obu ha no here be to fix one or two things.
Say John.
Because Bani started 24-hour model market here. In a long way, I buy 24-hour economy. I want to you say me implementing the assembly, but the delay it becomes a problem.
Say John, say delay anyway. Enye no na ho aseme ka say e ya dia o say administrative requirement how is being calculated anyway mu nyina any senke do ye be do this time me where I'm looking at it's not about say implication of a delay when a lot of implication and na me pese ye nyina ye stop sa kind of process and say we susu ye issue we say be come once because when the time is due ebi a cha some few yes then you pay adia ni say you waste your time on that is where at the angle I'm looking at.
Okay
87.9
e no kwasa aban no twen ma be ka ho asem
ka ho asem sa a delay well here sa no ma na BCCC.
I get your point.
Most of these institutions you know sika say na so into to be a turn around pa in the 3 months 2 months no they acquire interest or release it. These are the things now until say buying intentional might be a different thing altogether. Say buying intentional will be within the process, you know. Wama a delay there. I don't think say it was a requirement within a year. It's like say I was a what also tia tax. Na when tia. Na fedie no just say be chiwo ni wa wo ye dey ya so ye dey abitua so yes so in yes idea bia and this is a government me gidi say any say but it say they will amount for na ma a delay and amount for reading meanings to it maybe because they don't want more money to be in the system but there after this July April
87.9
and you may be home between good system nimu sa ahwana bay
was he
general secretary Washington regional
secretary is but on say on handle most of our administrative year
I say my propaganda I'm just trying to position and the level no why is it Zuba no? But we should dika.
Hey, let's go see you at this video. Just say, hey,
a jag of people.
Helene, minya biamajo. A rap, Metobi.
And then home that's what policy.
So hang go fear that
oh
Mapako to be no.
Also a pastor into the Jan man, you also me propaganda today.
No, you remember now. You remember
now. It's hard time. I was say Yesheni Jaisa delay and sending annual manner empha because the 24-hour economy. Maybe the 24-hour model market was annual. A delay intentionally frustrated the development in the local level. And then I'm concerns about it. I did be what I need say a chess. And he say check. Because we are not wash it. And I will perceive be a local for no chile woman.
Now say be discuss.
Yes, say you need the and them why. And ya ba we it has been previous. It bit me come sa no. Meaning but say I
we are reset abayo.
By July there.
Yes na no me nyai.
No, so back become a stress free way. No,
I
said they a promise. They made a promise, but because they catch it.
87.9
because yeah, first year for be a tree, but where
refund baby mundi.
Refund, but not the strategy.
The plan was that
Ka wo be
before.
Aha.
But say you trust free from ni na be.
Oh yes, I'm just trying to let you know say promise but omo etimia for fedo she says kanu on hwe ankura ne be because o mema kwan akofie na fe de.
Ungo choma nu pa. Because da emu ne tua ye na matua to omo yim.
Yes, the parents has paid. So
because our phone mum na nke koto mo ayiso
account him. I no so get no kremu.
Yeah, so mo free. Mo shi nam switch
bonus.
Mo video see omo nam I hostels na omo ni agi
this time time na ba so abua pa strategic timing.
Our phone na matua no abaya tua. Nti mo mfrem kwada ne zo mo mfamra.
Oh, ye be differ. You see, timing on. Aka be a week or two. Ye be exams. E come. Oh, and the time no mu huri ne ye timing na aba no. Enya fees a wo betua ne but the timing because by this time there everybody has finished paying the fees. Because it was second semester, almost 2 weeks to the exam. And a week to the exam. Until I was by this time.
Nanze omuko school. Nanze omuko school.
Yeah, try exams by next week na to say.
Mo year second semester.
Yeah, we second semester. So, until time no yeah, abuwa because we check here. Ebe mo wie
atom.
Very good. But I think the previous year on be no. Omutimi nya data nentem. No mu the number of students no mutua earlier. And no na the purpose of street friend.
I'm sure say because of budget and approval process near Adentino. And it be a delay.
No, I think it
next year.
This year, no.
This year, level 100
yes.
We best started from
But now ya na data because they have to confirm biometrical in BB and yes of it ya na ya kutu to account mu. Who's a student and now when student you and hono the data of the students is critical. It's not about the process in there. There's a more day ya would tamsi kumasi the call the far flight I drew. Do better once it's a government promise and a manifesto promise and the process will be faster. But maybe who said the delay was based on the student data now. No, so munya from all the various institutions. Don't forget Kenya University. Nursing, every tertiary institution they are part of it.
Teacher training for the and also come.
Some can. They are part of it. They are part of it. 15,000 students, and I think is a huge number. And Abua, me the microphone. Who are being now? Say, no one here me to actually you because it's cannot be faculty be any dinner. Pressure kwa.
I did mama boy kasa pressure.
Who bet me aso sa pressure.
Me tie na pressure me be ma.
Pressure no.
Me ni pressure bi ma.
Na me tua fees amu bi na me tetena ma. Me ka hwe sa de na ba. Na me tetena na o ka jam say o next year o say na fees no. No maka jare say. Abai de no de ma so wadia. Koda
we. Me da say ba boko de.
Na me don say John.
Ede nyamia se
metia menyan ma ofa de ye shia ha ye kwa no no mentime ofa nka bi
nte ne wona wo ofa no no se ka frem
ofa de makoto nsuo ni finfin no wajam ho no ko
na ka pe
wa dware ni pie
ga ope no
una so ofa ba ofa ba fi na ka me mo ofa ye ko ne ye ba oh aga bibia kama
ofasia o no wofa mu wo fie ba no wapie
se bi ofa wo no
na so call ye no se hoda wa ba no ofa bia me call
ye ma ka je mu ofa so ofa se hoda kura we nu en se me ka che ohu ofa se me wo fa so akwa aware pa na no ehu o ba ba fi na so akwa aware pa so ohia so cheche mu kira wo ba wo fa se ma se hwe ni ye so ofa ye no ba na fi ba ko ne de
o ja di kura so o ja to so kura no kura je so wa pe bamba minim se no ko na se asore ni
ba ko de nya se ewi ena me ko me unse me nko asore wo ba bi fa me roam around various churches as the ena me ko bantama SDA omo ye program omo atom sa from team call. Me pese SDA asori bi e wo region bia at least as many as I can e be call.
So kona
na ye no mossom na ye mo hu djuma pa
strategic
Dramani Mahama okay me you say okay me de me say nyame na me som
there be say nyame som strategy we move
okay
na nim say sorry no so edi omo strategic eh friend say
nyame o
planner planner wo mo de twi Accra uni bi wo so uni bi
wona wo kire me ndi me
strategy strategic so the winning souls
it's a good strategy so
and
then they make a bad strategy
you're using it to win souls
David
and it's good
ye ko sum nyame
Matia
ji Accra ma nyankopon nti Accra jerim na so bi hu sa aban so timi boa ma onyame som koso a se na nyam na meka ach wa na obo hu se
so man mu ye ya asore sika sem koso
we obey school fees etu ya ma we say ye hwe se next semester me no senka dan ka meka decision making no ho a ka me first ka na man kwada no ka me mana ka mo nam de etu the following year di ama wo
nanka
because ubedru shama joint bia na nkra no ho ubedru kebab joint bia na nkra no ho edidi apa fie enti atins
no but they all can so ke o say almost second year no per the present kind second year the student loan student loan na ombeko student loan plus and na second year no ombeko so but nka first year now ko second year no there's no need for going for the student loan na automatically government tu ya no ama na kwa first year the no yes na kwa da so yes nka I think say no year well let them enjoy
but
at the end of the day now what campuses ahodo nyina and this year trend ya ban ya trend on campuses nyina
and na boa ememo no mo nso kanchima wo various tertiary institutions omo musebuso omo sike mo so kra na yegu mu komo eno so no yegu mu komo ama no so obotom han mo kakra ndi men kasa aban bi bon first kan obotom aban bi discussion obotom but don't Dramani Mahama e chere so buy inflation over 30%, 35 or so, about 18. And Scabia Kakraba Beshe, Ubotomo ho, Fu baby and one at Tiaba, and no sesticano, a shoe botum, and send the same and born gradually. Kakra, says cano air babotum, a baby board discussion botum, a baby will be skefru botum, edico. Yanoma, or more a chair me, shed sending to 2 year corner near ma, a call ya. Yano because a first, a moon, first, and non 5 minutes is 128, no. Nto onye na address se bi oba okwa bare obeche no otu banche a no wadua na de wonche ne de ono 2 year otwa dua no so 2 year no adane ato baby no okọ nti ono se no otu ni banche hu se aban we nya de a aware no obeche ye tu adua ye ntu nua ka ne ye de nsu aguso ni ado ho na fa so aba so etimi ama ye nyina mesere common fan ne de ende no panika ukobo hu de rubi bra chano pala be ba okwa no rain feeder
na common fan so be part
no mudi twa mo se common fan man to obo o ti ase na hwese ne o man panyin so nam ne minister so ahyehye na din se sika we e be fa won sa ase ya ma 5% se no mo fa mo ho bra na mo administrative works na afi mo fa nye monitoring okodi bura we no mra no obuso John Dramani Mahama so reshuffle de ne hobby so wo mo number nkwan dia obekọ on chance ya discana ma assembly no mo che dom de beye ntu behwe ne bi wo ha do de be monitoring project na ngasa ya DAC I don't know mampanyi the very refined president ya nya na kase da bi science ano ne enchire de faye na de hwe items e wo mu so every quarter yetimi say ya me pacho ye be fru so be 16-20 years no na school and the trees is senasa even first semi grant on the betimi akoya nimpa afa next quarter na ba there be we dey 10% fashion create and school fees 10% we fabo dwedefo a omu hia bibi on person mo di bi ebo bosia na mo de treto omu nyumam nti every quarter and sen kakra ebebem depending on omampanyin ni so di hu a opese sa assembly and as various district assemblies no enya nti we dey abane mind the ho asem kan na de amana koye topic say na doctor kan na kan si discuss ne say ehunu bi penti ba ko twa we mutimi tena ho 3 quarters na one aba na mo twa fa mo bosa
ɛno na ama amanfo ɛsɛ da bia sɛ wei no ɛkyɛ asɛnkyɛ asɛkyɛ then so minim sɛ na otwetwe mu de me nyante sɛ aba betuto mu ama start aba betuto mu a
no ma start aba betuto mu ye de he kan wa se mi ase de ade wu kan o ma start aba betuto ye ma mi na ho kan o ma start jo ma start tua
ebe ban kakra
assembly si bi enya
joko MC o na ba bi enduru ne so o mo send ndi ne ma nyanto base to be one school dan ni si wa eno an no come on fan baba be ye adwuma
yen hwe so kwako di achi say aba ne ma
no yen hwe na
but some members say they will be monitored very guidelines that hun
yeah
ebe bo o mama timi
action plan yes accountability no enye din cause can say 1 million e buy it na say for 10% obi em say 100,000 Ghana kwa chip compound obi em say 100,000 Ghana kwa sales classroom blog obi nti emma nti o ma contract na no hu ekwa ba so ma contract no se ne obeye na enkobro so emfa ho kire em ebia na 10% no enso chip compound na with 10% na shim next one be ba no enso quota be ba
na o de ato
na o de bia kwa o de bia kwa shim o man panyin ka se onya project aban bia start wo ho to 25% project ahodo a ono hya ase aban bi hya ase no yemfa sa 25% no so enkungu shem ni enwie amamu eyento aso enti wo hwe hye o mampanyi de bana megidi pa ase CDCs no eboa yen ye various assemblies na eboa yen a bema yen a ye so partner adwuma no ayemre amayen he say ye control boy benya niema edi ensabisi susu a ye be kire se bae no weni ye yenko ye regional minister Frank Kwamakuni ba ko tena region say bo project me ensa we no Ashanti region na ontimi mo na ototo papa so there be ye mpesi benya sa scenario ni bi ye pe bia osori a offered obecheche nioma ke me aye obecheche nioma afija kwa abre north aye obecheche nioma kwa abre east obecheche ba bia do bia aye me ba bia me free cc afija se such a East District. Me this ya frame e di nkoma ani suade hu ne adwuma opeso wo ye no enyama pese so ya no omonhwe sis no mo kan no omonhwe no mo kan ni ebi
eno na menam ho
enyama pese sa
eno na menam seche
ense na asanteman asimi aso NDC msisi ya wa mamu a omo experience no ya no munyina yi pese omo last hope ni ha
me da se na ye 24 hour economy
the lunch no on say o mampani ahye enioma bi ase a megidi se yi nyina yemfa ya ho de ne empaibo emwa on say yanum ba na akoye slogan na bibia enka ho
yanum ne ham
Dr.
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi
MBB for na come asem na yanum de ano de ana hon be so we MBB din
there be some say I saw comment na okobo kwakutua din a eye musu yichi kwamtua eye musu yichi nti edin bo a yen hye dambo na mo say so mo nam street say jemensa nye na mo say ewia senso nche na asesa
ende mo wane jemensa oye ana
oye yes o prove say de kan ne no kore jemensa is proving to them people say de ne ye kan ne no kore ye beduru hotobo.
Okay, anyway. They ain't got 24 hours.
The was a woman of Mukunu, no, think about the dam.
Where is
Ohena konya what is wedi boni ana konya na yiwama.
We are you
say u kasakra no o kekansim.
Yes ah.
Utimi kasa.
You from boni pa di masa o you from boni.
Anyway,
di masa. Ediminia 24 economy ye. Agitiru ba ko mampanyi gina so ebo to apa. Ndu kaya ebra yewura to force in for me.
87.9.
So one of the factors are 9 BP ekurum ba se omo nche de hu nanso na ehwo ntekireye no ho nsem kan no na nsi wahwa ompanya hyira de ahye obi nsa so wonhwe the implementation ni baby a yebehya ase efri ni baby de peko yewura eye foreign minister eye yewura kujeto ablakwa ne sector nso no de ne hyehye aba but ne sectors ebetimi ahye ase enemanimu ne timi build on it akwa kuduru baby me dem de pa ye agric sector SME ni call me gidi pa in my wisdom say me mampani a cafe bia budget no more than 30% agric unya how because agric or no sika no ko ho a eno a esaba omoka e investment na waye and this kwan ya wi a e be se amo asa apache ba agric ko do di sika ko hye ho a eno a be sa de no sika na ba hwe ye wen basis be bre wo aman hodo so a adwuma mo ye no ne revenue bank tinkiti o ebetimi atan those assemblies no market harbor ye di noma be kwa kuguo nya ye timi exhibit ye noma ye wa mama for be place order me timi ahyepo akwa akoma o
tintina wo hwe ai programs na ye connected interconnected that is it
various ministries no agencies no e wo role e play wo mpa we nya politics as usual baby a wo bia no pe baby a won so ahoɔden no ndie wo a odun kokoshima ebeboa say production say farming baby a hwe a wo ye bibia won so betimi de won sai bibia ebeboa bia no ma wani enko ho now enter passport offices no say no come be run 24 hours we here bia fe no passport ka wo hia ade atu kan ka no committee ni offense wo betimi de akire 1 month 2 months de bi di akwani aba akonyo ho mfidie ho a the here ye nipa on be man those offices yetimi produce ni edi ho akwani aba me ho say ye na birth and death for nso eye nhihye a ye nua adumbotwe enso ye nhihye so obehwe kwan be so because ho nso ase enema pile egu a pressure etimbo omo so at certain point in time ti me eye project ya me gidi say si etimi edi akire timi abo mabuna ewie school ahodo omo nya adwuma nya no ebetimi absorb bebre port ahodo no ono so ede ba so on say airport o free 7 last flight equal 10 gradually ye move our various local airports now intimi know the standard of protocol gradually ebetimi move akọ unim say dey ba 10 people thought say at 10 they say 10 o'clock flight o be connect ni amount for that so gina chide so it means say amount for no bi o munya adwuma na on be name bi wa means of transport keke etimi ma oboka means of transport kema business and creation ko timi transacting etimi ka echire emi etu sheda so your man penyen so ade hu say at every sector every point in time our person running business bi amana etimi cause them for so ban eye ohwe eyi a a common fund e ba eyi a market no on do ka che omo so to market ba bi a ebetimi running 24 hours ntinye say baby akura bi ase baby ahwe enipadom no enya market driven area no kokosi esi da bi sini baby asa market bitimi running no 24 hours so the directors are being given.
I say MMDC is now about 80%. Ehun baby omo sa market ne ko. I spoke to some of them.
Yes.
Obi ma ehun say me de kwa ha na beboa. Ono an book mu no paper no.
At least
why be an anonymous statue omo ye engagement per land in that is true.
And Sunday teacher o mine. Enti obia de na dwene ba no man panyin na ono so ade no kura no na no enso won se medi akande ba bebo a ebetimi aso wasene ama oni so ade hu na wo no wanya nso atimi aba medi bi se timi start sa market ahodo ya enyoma timi ba free na boko na gu VIP station ade se ebrenso so ye twen akọ ye ne se nyina se market running 24 hours a taxi drivers ka hu trotro drivers no ebi now obi nso be run e basa filling stations ahodo on ebi nso na ebi nso be run 24 hours all running sa na esi enya security dodo e na fe be for police for no so dodo amomo nso atimi amonita ahwe se amanfo akone aba no nso no omo so ho bambo no ebetimi akose e ba economy na mu na ye bie no was about na fe bans ahodo asade den say e ba at every point in time so why ye adwuma homache na nso benya ba bi ko bo za fe na bans no e be start adwuma 5:30 e be start adwuma 6 o'clock a enyama oton na anadwo no obetimi di akwagu ni nyina na e boostu ye economy ni ma enhyeje papa aban person de ba ma obi anya adwuma ye e ma economy ni grow no etimi agro ye minim se ba bi opese seed ni koduru pa ne dollar enkon koduru ye although enya advisable so be ya ma dollar etimi aba 5 cedis 6 cedis enya advisable for our economy because oyenisa wonso no what it means is say enyoma hodo ade ko wiase afa na kokoton no okoton ba osidi mbe kitu abi untimi ntua omanfo no ekayi enti se wakoye say for instance say one cedi akwakoye $1 it means say okoton na ma $10,000 a no adwuma ko to bi age 10,000 Ghana is be 20 per 10 eka and you are coming back with the same denomination enti and also say strategic it means man penyinim dey no person peg dollar no 9 10 12 in between na enyina ho na amanfo nya confidence wo say at least nya say me kofa anyoma ba ya no the next 3 days yebeto dollar num ama nyoma ase na timi adwo am watimi amanage economy ni ama akatua hodo nso eso ye ntumu ahodo no so amanfo so timi anya bi na nhye bi akoso we ya aban a watena fie asuade enfie nwotwe enti yenim se mistake bi ho aye expect say obeye enti wahwa enyoma bi oye no pass government ya na enye even ono anu kra penso no enfonso bi oye no hwa o correct nyoma bebre ministers hodo ai farm no ye ma mo blank check wa chere mo code of conduct send your conduct on send yes o hwa nyoma wa chere obusu a eho aso twen no wa chere owi a enye so wa kansa awie nto disika ne ma akwa sika ne hye nso wa chere ono wa chere do de ba beye enne betimi aboa na enhye a yesa asam na bia 24 hour economy no ka ho ko se do de abrel what sanitation enka ne de command minister bi no waje ni nyina aboso ono je boso wi a no so the $40 million akoti gatem gata so de atum sensu to ato ne yen ba so de atim ye be kwa penis ke gumpase millions of dollars ne gumpase enya mamu en bi no pe e so pe se we decentralize no and there some na bia na responsible for keeping your community clean. Into all can say one of the yasses betimi aboa mo koso edi MCA the cleanliness of your district. And see we localize at the end of scan e ba ho ma mo manage and the assembly member wo lecture area ye this can be about him eni honi na so ni honi no ye kwa campaign ti ase wo nya assembly member so start to abama na ehuka na to asumo dem wo this can ko trankan na say nkran ni nchekwa be fa so aka me bete ekwe fa so a eye oforu kro municipal bete a that's only this is ni amanfo ho no eni yese eba locality num no ma hye nyoma nyama we nyina kro mo te nyina no bo ama 24 hour economy no etimi ekoso ti mebru mesere eba agro business na yemfa ehunyim yemu bi de ye wo yafuom enti afudwuma no yentimi nyae
very good so
emu na ye wo enti day in day out food on ye de menu ka say ye gumu a ye kɔ dendenden ebro no nso bi apese a ye hwese be koyi oh me afi bi enu amenu abu afi bi enu a
afi de me hope ye
koko ni de ye ya metufu akiri
mampani nso se wo betum
he say ade ba ko a
so wo betum
sika ba ho
ama se say wo tum a
coconut plantation
wo a ande me ande mbapa na obi
ha wonim
me papa na
me yafuo bi me koko ofuo bi na just 10 acres ena me ye say ne hye no na e hons be ba sam yes okay bi di kube betwa ano ni nyina hia minia me koko is kube no mame 5 times even give me 6-7 times profit dan koko na me say me di kube no e bo ho ban they say me hu say e manfo ani nso e kɔ hɔ called market no e wo ho dada nti me ya fie ni nkosi ade ba ho nko aso mango cashew sa na mani nyina na ade a yehia no wa ha the market is ready and na me di nyoma eye no because yenya company eye fresh fruit juice ho ha onko to ya num de ya ede ndin eguguru oba mu awo so a chese enyoma nko a ekum ye ma no your fresh fruit ho a ya hye ni aye ho dede ni aye ho advert media fo aboa na manfo di enyoma eye fresh enyoma be ma na hoden na ma health insurance so ho ato vi se yare ahodo ni ho efri nuanem ahodo bebredi ni ho a eye ya pom den so ensem kan betimi akoyi ama pressure ntimi ema so
me that's ba thank you very much Mr. Amo anom na me musa say entrepreneurs no omo are ready
for the 24 hours
for the yes I mean
we are ready
private sector no because aban so ono de enye ono ebeji atan ni ase say aban ebe dominate because government will not dominate nemum aban no will be behind making sure say bibia e fine
but yeah we feel say e be adru sisi no
Akuma FM 87.9
for instance okoji loan be say 1 million cedis and 100,000 cedis ya e we interest ni mawa interest no a whole day so me fancy the interest be a 10% the total a year it is another 12% a year and actually say busumi be an betua 1% 1% no utua 30 days no times 24. Into all kind of hours here. I just calculate in about 30 times 24, which is about 1,200 hours. So, I would try per hour beyond would interest. But I can't go 8 hours. Now the account at the home. It was no yes cannon good to ya now came but wouldn't 1 year enough to say wait me cover interestness with you. So I bet you never mean I am going me still interest no work. Sunday a work, Monday a work. It is a bit to say run a 24-hour economy or Crumbus here. A bebois ama. Busian, not even run 24 hours in Akutia. Busian rather become cheaper than being more expensive because you are not. You are not efficient. You could be effective but not efficient. So it's very important. Say, you between work with the 24-hour one. Oh yes, but if I 12 hours, no. And then I will produce a brewer. I will produce 10 bags in 8 hours. 20 miles 24 8 times 3 is saying we divided by a year 8 hours 8 3 is 24 the better produce 30 bags in a day instead of 8 bags or 10 bags in the Bema on your man's no cost no abba form. I'm also to me a ton cheaper.
Okay.
Why competitive in the system? Ghana, unfortunately, baby I know chum near Susan. Naza a very nocturnal activities in their course. And Nanka hey, so much hey, none industries in your group.
Yeah.
Umuye Jumana, Juna, no papa, who's a fin of me upon brewer.
Yeah.
Banabas, and the way you caught now we banner we caught now we bassa. Did not a normal. This will be called man as I can walk a day. I said to Miss Revives because of what Bruchra, Ukumuta.
Health sector no na consistent. Health
sector they say you can't compromise it.
And so model no a bit me running in using that one as a case study.
Yes.
So health sector me one night me wait me.
Yeah, no, you can't compromise it because we don't go with a young one. I just now I'm young general. Also very how do you can't compromise it? And there are so many areas. The ma abrofuno near mano. They be good so I toba a cheaper rate na ebeton and say they work with this kind of system. And the moment money for so they can compete with us effectively. DNA yes, that is it. The near see by 1 or 2 or about 5 products. So near we're 24 hours here. The goods will even become cheaper for us to compete. I mean, very competitive. Crying the external market. And now, Nyami Adams say no. Alanchematin other women, they are linking to African continental free trade area. Are your war market no hodada. I'm for taking advantage you by it. These are some of the areas yes you to me building in yes you taking more advantage. Yes you to me emphasis because when you are linked to what we say $1.3 trillion economy. Now what you know now we know what is wrong with us.
I see.
What I say. It's very, very important. Me 24 hours, maybe the Diana, the Biomo can be American. There was a time there was demand for my product. Say, you can't sleep. You have to work. We have to work around the clock. Machine you have to run and all those things. And it's based on power. Power, so you are there here, parenti. You best say, they say Ghana, you install capacity of 5 point something megawatts, 5,130. But it means in 4,000 and over. The can. It's a see it make sure say it may use na. I've been pay was say in the next from now to 2030 no. You better add capacity be aka ho no. You to say ma ho here. Kwade ya pa there certain equipment be ho a omo ye adwuma no. So the machine is a call off all of a sudden a call off. It will take him 2 days and sound with my back.
And the last time now will come on.
Yes. And the consistent power supply is very, very, very important. And it's good that they are coming out of all these modalities, especially in the area of for instance, solar ɛna ne nyinaa no yɛmfa ne nyinaa nka ho ɛna ade baako nso a na boa ma 24-hour economy ɛnso yɛ euro sectors road sector no sɛ nya ɛnso yɛ difficult hwɛ okɔ aburukyira nipa bebree firi baabi te sɛ nkɔkɔɔ ɛkɔ adwuma nkran ba de biara so what kind of when they don't talk about quarantine, they talk about hours say na medibedi you know mo hwe enye quarantine to obu say e kwa o e be 3 hours na edibedi ro no won ka quarantine
comfortable so be within that 3 hours because be a kwan e
kama so anything your road system so ya de ba ko a ese ya me ani ko ho pa ehunu se e kwa especially Kumasi Accra road baby ho a omo yi ato ekira mu ye omo because na omo ndim ye e na Accra road sisi e o fa so de say de wonam abo apesie de say yi no gigi obi so fa pavement so pavement section no then the bible fa so because kwa na say dini nyina ye areas ya ese ye hwe a very good thing say NDC menani koso jomama menani koso na ne nkrofo nyina aboa no ne nyina de amegyi ne aboa ma etimi gina me gidi say ya de ebeboa o ma we papa because ya anya sa 24-hour economy ni ya anya ni ya yetimi compete in the international market yo komne bia ne enema no ye enye competitive they produce bia enye competitive how can you compete with the international market? And they will import, but if you want to export and you're able to penetrate their market here, we need to get a situation where we are working now. And then are producing a very cheaper in terms of power generation and all other facilities and serial facilities here. A bit more boama and very cheaper.
Who say aban no pay the aban the abano? And aban abesinko a jumo ye wo the manufacturing sector, no? Yes. That is 1D1F.
Yes.
Who connection be? Abane consolidated the na baby ana abanda than you drew, you know.
Trying to very because I don't say no kind of private sector led. These are areas that is more private sector. Say one of the policies of the one factory. A private sector led, not see a job mokra, but the government also create enable environment in private sector and it may effective. It is very important. Abandon council mountain. The private sector not only incentivize it. Private sector no. In areas of dynamic infrastructure. In areas of infrastructure. Obi a how person or ye factory be obi a be fan say ye baby. E kwa ko be kokore e kwa now. E kwa no nye. E be den timi akwa aba. Enna ye wo nyama bebre ho a wetima en kromezi as a big besi factory no be factory no kra no ade a me ba besi o ha sei these are the raw materials me here amafo no aba link to it kra no ma produce raw material na ma and especially where the rules are good entini nyina ye nyama edi bemu a gise betima boa enye easy sa but ye boa mo betima ye ne nya ifa propaganda ne nyina to make kada bi am can say we have only one country and this Ghana. This is the only country we have as Ghanaians, I'm first class citizens. And to be a bit of balance, needless propaganda, criticisms, no, negative criticisms. Positive, I understand, but negative criticism, you're finding out, maybe I will root our future in the past. And now, Alan Chamartin can say, we must not be haunted by failure. But we must be challenged. But we must be carried by the challenge of sources. Sources be on the challenge. Opia no apes also see their own challenge him.
Yo.
But say we person who the outside for consa na enye syndrome no. Se be wrong one. You cannot move on. And the young say a quite near a quite person fashion. But challenges you but we can summon the challenges. Because baby, there be number to platform say with God on our side, no, we cannot make our stumbling block. Can make our stumbling blocks our stepping stones. Our stumbling blocks should be our stepping stones to succeed. Now we should never quit. The woman someone, omo consumption na omo human influence. Okay. Because ye nyina ye boa. No bia yan de kakrakra ye na be kriti yankura mo kwa brojira ebi no nam deserts e dey no mo ko bae nye adwuma na adwuma ha ko bede bebe me baby free UK aba na no was it say on try UK bi na higher pa
wow
was no na obi oba ha na ne gisa so e ha wo no wo nya adwuma wo ye adwuma wo nya sika na so so si oba ha
na je pa me da say me da say Samuel mamema doc so emre mo na doc sorry for our economy the na wo hwe animu ese bia ka ye be no day and night mampani say enye no kwani focus no beyond that and beyond that no ma 8 interconnected sub programs are under the forming the foundation for 24-hour plus and I'm grow and others about 8 of them they were Greek they say we are going to farms in the night but there will be a chain and also be supported we are impressed with the stage in it baby I start here free no
Sir John, such policies, you know, it's not easy because there were multiple dimensions. There was a ultimate coordinating Emraka home. Shishemra a bit me ama system now run effectively.
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi.
Shisha a day a Juma Beba a day in Punto Beba there. Major will be anywhere. Oh, Beso Cassetia is a crowd with no Antichrist.
And was there day
Antichrist.
Oh, Dr. Samuel Free. Kwaku citizens watch ya why. Udru wa kwaku citizen. Abranti na also anamon di otiti aso kaka. I would be actually. Beso that chibi no. So anti-Kwaku citizen or a bad man.
Anyway, 87.
Yes, me child parmesan so.
What's a anti-Christ? You
say nipa beji Yesu beji yankwana
and also company.
We anti-Christ.
Anyway,
it's an ambitious program. We are looking at the Omodi Abeke Kanhono Krana. It's not easy. Say Ubenya and the view say Ubema private sector as well leading no. It needs a lot of effort because say private sector no no profit in here ne enye o mine no ne they will be beye enye no say I don't know beye see what the $100 million is remo Ubenya so far so say ono ne view or the bebaro no Ubenya no 3 years 4 years 5 years 10 years hona amount for be they should ensure say private sector we've got 4 billion, right?
Yeah, $4 billion.
Be provided $300 million, not 3.7.
Yeah.
Now me concern is
it creates 1.7 million jobs. That is
1.7
million. This time quality jobs. So how am I describing quality jobs?
Document it mean kind of but me who sectors are these 1.7 million no ebeba. Because yeah now we share 24-hour economy some of the policies now almost say be as a Ministry of Foreign Affairs now almost implement be where it be a direct jobs be create be about 100 indirect jobs be about 300 now about Ministry of Agric it be a direct jobs be create be about 500 the indirect ones and also these are bit me who say specific areas are so 24-hour economy no kono don't forget 24-hour economy is for employment say be nipa be nya adwuma ye eno ya de a na buying a campaign a lot on that so omuma ye hu sa visibility of those figures no
okay
at the same time no say you spending $4 billion minimum projections are 24-hour economy no ebe generating figures
okay
because what I've seen is say New York no more implement this way now omo to make say be a best spend be a $1 million, but to be on $5 million.
Akuma FM.
So the value,
yes, of what the policy is going to generate. Ewe nimuno, and the betcha say be a sikane ebe remono. Ya moka.
Okay. So be after the job creation. No?
Yes.
I must say ebe reduce import dependency.
These are the figures.
Saying I be a gaining from that end. You be a competitive player in the regional and global export markets.
Yes.
The also saying
yes.
You producer. You hear me say near the eco. Na import also say. Okay.
That is where because
have figures no now come
once a what me figure you best spending it there. You also need to have a figure you been free mu be able to say oh where you spending 4 billion you be 10 billion and now 6 billion as a generation in terms of employment in terms of be a asset in your maybe side figures no ebema even crowd the obe invest in a crowd be here some of these data a bit me aboano se be a sector me invest here employment I mean say a BS car many free say these are the things that document be I think say Australia there New York there so my kakra now was studying about those and that was what they've done say security crana omutimi say be a security no say na omo quantify the cost nyina say be because they are buying be provide security no and in Australia omo night minister no ye in charge yes they have a night minister or share and our governor or share and you operations because say good daytime no be akoda enti no when na wo say bad decisions be a and ba ade be a emergency the person has to take governmental decisions and I say approval enti omo wa na jomo governor and I say night minister oye onu de won na yes say also wo ya na also akoda also tewo to make sure say enuoma bia because ya na ye ka say night na ye obi so day other countries into business koso it is a big night operations at the same time e be kura no be create 3D China na say bia South Korea bia no mu 3D e bi obehia ban input and answer buying information bia obetimi that transact business the night economy no should also facilitate that so I will urge you say the way in charge no mo man some kind tell am say
the policy policy document no
87.9 Kumasi.
I just received one na maybe a ekwa animu no ye behwe na ye nya brahwe ma hu se 2 million bi sha on say develop strategic agricultural value chain the na make ho asemi higher value potential value chain across 7 food groups to reduce Ghana's $2 billion food import bill, cut post-harvest losses of from 30% to 15%. Where the bar name direction as to what we want to do. The way they say you harvest we are you call for you need chat no by the bar we are and they watermelon for bisu and they are say on person from 30% to 15%. I know yeah document maybe see maybe I'll share with you now because these are the old starting no right at least in value terms now see who say when na eba be dey eba be come when eba be teso so that you be see your direction not just be a yano akwa and you know document no ha
when you read through the document some of these
questions
will be answered.
Yes,
also as part of the program now import free say one more on sign up to the program no more manufacturing equipment renewable energy system raw materials and logistics infrastructure no we be import us anyama na yen duty be e be mo akra anyama if you are sign up to the program na say o run ya and almost obey 2 shift no year ni na no tax ya obetu an say better so 25% as a rebate Now for mom run 3 shift on we repeat 50% of the taxes we could do na asa amount. Sina bia betimi asade abaya adwuma de atimi de invest wo adwuma num. Enti bi o company so number say bi afibia no utu ya tax bi 200,000-300,000. Ebi $2 million a year. 2 to 1 million na. Government say nam so run 3 shift into no. Wo no ye je with 500,000 yes the amount. Say safa kokoshe adwuma num for the phase fees. Enti it means that or the purpose or try say production bitimi akoso because nyama import no edoso dodo and this itimi cut importation by 50% kwa ye ko ye nimpa ko hwenkoko pa ye kra free amano na ebetan kuruma ria se be ese kunyen eka ho na nsu ye guso ekwa be na be fa so ebetimi ate so nti se poultry farmer no wo nhihye a wo no waye se da bi ene mpese me buy agric sector mpese me ye medie bi na process emoa no bi wo ha wo tax ahodo ni grains grifa omo me grain ho yi nyina nso kra no omo tax rebate omo de mom se so wo ye sa anyoma no etimi afidi other sectors a eno nso e produce a won so kra no rebate wo a bebi okra seedlings ne makra no aban de masen abetimi produce amanfa so etimi abaso me didi se ye sha asie no any easy say betimi quantify revenue pa ye benya but betimi quantify in a way say be a estimation betimi ye hope say be betimi nya be a $2 million, $1 million, $1 billion a year. But me this a project air cost no be me a fair idea as to direction SFA baby SB a quite timid attention na pa echo baby okro estimate is a hand be boy but there be a program na ko not mu say there be me this a directing of course the direction for her e betimi aboa baby a ye ni ehwero ita make say nyina mpe mi se be support to aban no ye fe nim de mu say no nim de won krata so na de betimi aboa na de aban mpanyi no ye ku enim no na refine idea na sitim be stay a mi gidi pa se nkwe ya de bia otem pentin kwa ye research e kire o ma de omu yo mokotana fi enya ade a sa ne o ma betimi abaza to kura so de field de uga o de wo pian kura na ba no wa be creative bi ba ban na nkasa wo pian kura na bro so onye ready so obebo akura ma kura na creative bi a na se djuma ya sebe enfa so bi eni so ahomacha so ye research e read kenkan ya effect wani kura no enfa so bi ama so bebe fe pa se ubetiti akura wo school na beti se akura bi ameche na de na eye owner of this company one na ehwe adwuma we so one na we ye ne dia no ebe sebe aho
okay so doc I'm say o question na boy part to be able to explore Oshaha, who said, let me share this one with. Doc, me share a document among here. There is an element of work age, labor force, employment, jobs be created from 2024, BC and from 2026. Omo compare the population 2024. Population and the expectation said next year the benya I don't know 2 years on my side projection from 2024 to 2026 from 2026 to 2028 2028 to 2030 to 2032 if say idea we be sustaining no ama yakọ anima and ni nyina wa ha me shama I think say bia e benya bre eno kra de ba e mo asemo a yeah some tro for the say ya o na ya ne piegu anim ni ye do so ni ye yi aban no e wo se mo sheda ye orientation bi
yeah
e de ma media what
because me communication officer
87.9
the regional communication officer ye ho adwuma wo mo be chase in fact
any doc mo ye stakeholders
community
is amo anom ne private yes
nyina no ye try say ye be manfo ate ade na see because ni pass on the concept na se credit so de no kwa goshim
exactly
obi okwa do ni man say ye say ojo ma launch 24-hour economy unima de kro but bia baby o no kro ankora no si timi checha de man ti ase a obetimi de no ho agim na de fa so etimi abanti me communication officer go so amoye arrangements ya ye be free expertise utie opinion dia no ke very insightful pass akwaje bosia dia ma per hour and you calculate your mouth with you. There's a way 8 hours now, about 16 hours no, saa kan de wabɔ da hɔ dada koraa nsa na wokɔgye bosia no wote mfaso biara ɛma so ma but the system ne timi boa wo na sɛ wotimi set up in the way so betimi run all the 24 hour na beji sɛ bosia ne tua no koraa no betimi ayɛ and it is a one of the reasons ya adwene nkɔ so amanfo gye bosia mu ntua amanfo gye bosia mu ntua bi okra na genuinely enye ne person agye ba system ne ntimi mmoa no ɛma ne ntimi akɔ nyankopɔn boa na sɛ woyɛ 24 hours na ntimi stabilize dollar no so ɛma wa we say be business friendly country am for back to
so we are
the them can say o person wo ye criticize na o kan ya you know for to convince a lot of any different groups of people no say unya figures to say we na eboa nti ya omo I think I've seen that table na our employment in being but omo specific say bia Oko Ministry of Agri.
Okay.
Maybe you implement it 24 a year. Because Australia there no direct jobs, indirect no one you figure no. What me justify say area hana based on the manifesto they intend to create jobs no. It's justified there. But box on the hap at the same time no betimi quantify it na okay say o ye ma wa yi na bia nipa na be a tax ne ho ahwan ne nyina no eno no ye the fruit of we no ntia no na wo say aban ne timi ekika bo ne nyina bom no who say the benefit
yeah ma ministry we say do this give us create jobs we wa this a foreign affairs or run a 24-hour economy war passport saying na ye nya at the end of the day
yes
saying a wood day ye ba be yi ye be che day for ni mu and e bia ye night and I say we are going to create maybe 24,000 jobs for night.
Yes. Yeah. And based on that, we say, omenya tax incentives. And only a benefiter, a buying ya. In Tibuki can Uboma, no na beye, we invested into this amount, but a home for Suni, and no quantify in figures, and no say, hey, and idea you spending $300 million. You been $1 billion out of it. Ain't a good investment for that policy. And no Emma attract a lot of investors into that policy. It's a very good man. I don't know Africa, Kenya for try more to me. South Africa and I'm so try one of the I think their cities, but NTCA to me a support near my model no year Juma. I like the idea say subsequent government with them rubber bar. Subsequent government so to me I sure say there is a very good obia why you be no but
me that say doc ba someone na person can be big account that can be say me ma ba chiri me the tia
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi
Jimen san in the team no the tia
oh we can juma de juma ba na nya o ma so to
ba e dey mebusa no mebusa na san no ko ba mi o dey bisa mo adi o dey ado dey no ba sell mebusa no
o say de na ka be to ade na dog kan ho ni say e si ahihye mra aban bia ba o mra metu that principle of state policy no e makwan emma aban bia ba was it the government in the urban he may on say you need mandate to say sha to me bia no ba we are do the meeting we got we but the mandate to say oba de ho bia so to aso a sa de we sinti ho no ye constitutional review no e ho so mo fan kan no under the principle of state policy no but bia any obligatory no especially on some of these projects no yenyen mandatory say the government bia ba onyanto because oba o man abachichi oba pa o man yenyina yidi nti say ade everything aboy nyina ade na aba no obejato all because say obi na de ba indi ana because say no because na brand because say kofo say de ka kofo ne health insurance and e kofo ade free tickets e dey ka no mama say 24 hours ne be ka no it is everything dey aka na nhemu den na omiensa nyina ne miensa aba ne nyina no obi a won ayi a mfi say etimi abon dey nhemu den because
say man penny go for abaye ko na health insurance card na basa na free SHS so ba basa
Ade so
na
boy
24-hour economy so ba basa
anje ye kwa na buy nyam de buy nti it is at the end say yi free okra cause this 24-hour economy ba so hwe eyi o ma ya by the year 2024 no now unemployment rate no eswatia ba from our base several million about it is say nipa o man nyina kakra bi se ne ne adwuma krono ne ne nyina abekofom obi a pese obi pi bia e de ade e be boy nyina de be stress o man hye mu den ye nyina mfi akom ye ho nyim de make sure that they meet ma konanim ye na make na jimenza no enze
o panyiso o nya yise nyame adom aba we nchihye no ye betre mu ache kakra nti be sustain no on se ndc enema na aban hodon de benya ne ba ebe ni okay mutual health insurance and be national health insurance
Akuma FM 87.9 Kumasi
o man ma fa na be bia edin share party me two free SHS and hwe enuane nkura ni di hwe se ne omo ho akeka ho keka etie so you could see say omo timi de adwen be but say be polish ade na metimi yi no omo lake no ye ba na betena se ne be hyehye sa ne ma ne na we en de ba ne ye hyehye ne yie de ho senkan na tutu yie nyame ya adom na se nyankopon ehu ye mobo na Ghana force am ye to me 2028 ya ye hope ya na ya hye mu kana na eko na 12-16 years me chairman so ba begin the 8 years eko dia na se eko ya de ye eko ye nim
o chairman be na so na kan ya
the next flabber no be ba no
One chairman.
Oh, me na me man title say chairman me.
Hey, what you be pray to go? Hey, ba. Anyway, Hey.
Oh, there.
The agenda na started.
Oh, there. Say title am dey man.
Next say no chairman be ba. Sana be so chen. The obeba na say friend o man title say.
Me na man title say what in be big mama.
Me yine di na no say o kan di me yine di.
Ya dey e fun be hia.
Na no asma kan to yine di o. Na wa hu ni pa kro na o kan.
Azi ni get di anu o kan.
Oh da be oh hwe na no. Na na open di afa me o forecast me dey atwa no wo fom. Na go se mi mu ade. Ba nya no na make. Hello.
But mama this
see
rerun of Ablikuma North. MBB say ade na commission ni nyina no. In fact, Parliament cried here. Afenyo marking cry no e kan ho asem say is it because of saying comments are eba from NDC mpanimfo bi na ama electoral commission for IMCC bi abom so na omde yes a na no. Okay. And if so, I didn't know say yes.
Okay, not just say electoral commission political party to manage IMCC man take decision bi. Per omo and some kind inference say we infer not just say electoral commission na oti ho no. Uti man pressure, especially aban oti so ti man pressure. E man team bibi, which is deadly and dangerous. Nuntina way back there pointed them in the castle mami way on se otana commission okrache eye wuduro na ehye oman na no ene di agro eye gya ne aso nye di petrol etwa ho hia unse rewan de parties do be atiase but say akwe the number of polling stations here ye be rerun one problem no and before say 3 polling stations and electoral commission we dey the electoral commission so be 19 polling stations.
Now commission earlier was say oh here's just security to be able to collate the threat na come no we declare after the U10 no yasem no.
Yes, I didn't all kinds of asem dey asem because pin sheet here we returning officers uncertified. Emremu no say return officer no uncertified ya enye pin sheet o people no kura o ono azu return officer meeting match dey ntia regardless agent we asen o say return officer on sign ya enye pin sheet o a paper it's A4 sheet you crop paper. The letter commission they say 19 of these polling stations no return officers no are certified. It is omuji tumwa enye yi.
Akuma FM 87.9.
And this opposition say return officers similar meche didn't you woman's sign because those pin sheets no were manufactured. Most of which our agents say no man sign yet. And then MP before one no adwuma. Na so we ni ade no. Opa mo saka se general election ko frɛ bɛsa no makɔ ebe wini. And you so we ni. Ya ka se to constituency nyina for kwa so we ni. Yes an ko to e.
Say they are the incumbency be bama be na.
And to mo se incumbency team we ni election.
Moto maya baby edri. Na they say wu kuma. Na no eh. Na time ho. Time time yibi ni ye majority of parliament nti no moto na mo anhwa confirm ni anya ya wini a then just say you get it nti ye betima oh hey is it parliament or crowd ye ne wo ye ne wo
this is all my campaign message.
Oh David, I'm saying say it could be an issue say now incumbency bebem because you have everything.
They say so I'm a crown no baba election e be win because because e also. And as a man for na beto ama e beto ati omo no and man for no tuti a omo no mo. So those police stations akọ be lose. Those 19 police stations mo hu say enyem omo ye no ho no this omo ntimi nye. E bi na si wa chante be omo ye anto aba. Na anto aba. Man for to aba. Uche ni pattern na busa say dodo say na anto aba. About man to why you want me and and this woman who so muntimi, but this affirms our position long that our long standing position say Jane Mensa electoral commissioner OD anymore on some fata. Yes. So return officers now muntimi answer page or man said for more. Omo here for one for moduma. One the training omo. It was training woman. And now, every before near your address and pass him, I'm on some fatampa into Ungo Fee. And then I was more reject to say, you are not going for the rerun. Yeah, no, because you have two concerns in Lacribeco. Reject you. Oh, Mom Gassian 239 police stations in Yina. You have a got you be reading so. Minia. So when the Madrimans were Brunio. And you mum. Aha. And then himself, you ma, ye no sa constituency no. Ye ka se nkoto aba 36 police station ye beto awieni. E ye wo mo nim do my ho da do mo say this omunya kwan ye na esu. But the fact that we win doesn't mean say you should accept anything at all say. But had you him say Ghana crack ka se nto Ghana ba nyina. Na reason is ye dey call reason na mra ye dey call for say nsanto aba ni reason na mra kwan so ana. O fa me na Justin Kodua. O si wesu amra. Nti emrano we nya dey se beat you say nye I mean onye politics na why say party position and we defend there just could do him say
Akuma FM 87.9
na pin sheet as we may know it to be you know say return officer non certify enye pin sheet ordinary people no kura onim enunti say the abana so say yen ka dia yen for so kan wo de ho adan a wo say agent bi asensan by return officer inside kura yen ten kan fama ho sandem la ne kira na so yin ya ko yen na sampa pin sheet no ka no return officer no certified there adan no ye ba be ko ho say tribunal yan kind of one no the fact is that the document before us incomplete per law and that thing just say fama
anyway
so many city ya wini you will sit bi o ho and yam ba ko mienu bi na nko but you 3 clear seat wa chance be dey wini ye no sam ko ye bibi ti say ya ye twen
ntend ya ma kan
ba ko bi say o kan nim so no ye dan ya obiko president me akọ by election to one day me ha me ho kase
na ba ko assembly mo fan ko court ma
ai ba me say ba ko e be ko by election Ashanti region. The Beko by election. Baku and Sunday 4 years. Oh, yes, 4 years every.
Baku could be bonny.
Bapa. Baku is on one fed no te parliament camera of Fubia Mons or Trenam social media and then I'm one Nima the Crunty by mistake.
But I say,
because my team is so that for a month will be 20 no Aquatana parliament.
Oh, man.
Baku, dear,
and who will be able to
baby. Oh, investigating no more my end on oh prison that the nephew no oh. Into what say they by election you be call.
Won for any panel court.
O say
on charge no or drew prison.
And now what teams will be yare we or home ba nu say yare do be wu.
0322498035 0243114497. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, fine morning, Sir John.
Yes, sir.
Shaibu
Maminti.
The only professor in Ghana politics. Some professor Prof. Banyano, and yet a political professor. For American is a Santa Region, Caribbean, fighting now. Came about the just.
All right, Medas. Hello, good morning.
The only say radio.
Yes, sir.
Akuma FM 87.
Benji Mamintio, Minia.
24 economy na by so the bank there we say Ghana in Numania the bank person was 24 economy na is really so you soon pay with your come.
May I say hello, good morning. Wow, Bacho, when you
hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Martin.
Major Zuminia.
I am Hamza.
Hamza,
I'm not going to for Honoma. German for Nikata in Wakata. Oh, so she said 24-hour economy and more but it's a Krano and the 24-hour economy. About Satua, the way I'm moving to Mama, the president, you know, Comuna. Now here it says, see, I need just about Chroma. Open your house and control. This is the sound of Chromo. Be anywhere, sorry. After Rubia, 20 million, show you about them. Where's that my papa Nabano?
May I say hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Sir John.
Yamia Dumbo Communia.
Sẹ́jọ́ iṣẹ́ níbi lọ́dún ọ̀fẹ́ nsọ́kọ̀ kọ̀tẹ́.
Mi ni àwọn mi ń tí o.
Sẹ́jọ́ ọmọ mi ń kyẹ́ ọtí fún yìnyín náà ọbẹ̀ jẹ fọ́ọ̀nù. Sẹ́jọ́ adé ayé mu wọn wọ MPP fún ọdún sẹ́. Nípa commission sábà náà mo hu nsọ́ba pia bẹ́ẹ̀ press conference ẹ̀yí MPP fún ọ. Níwọ̀n àbá mu nípa commission yẹ ndc fọ́sọ̀ na jùmọ̀ nsọ́ ni mo dìfẹ̀ndé maami yá deɛ bɛka bia mo sɛ ndc ha gẹ̀ deɛ bɛka bia mo sɛ ndc ha gẹ̀ nti sɛ nnɛ mo ba bɛɛ press conference kɛsɛ letter commission jùmọ̀ nsọ́ ni di a lẹ́kẹ̀ sɛ MPP fún ọ mo pèsè mo kẹ́ sẹ́yìn.
Medasi, hello, good morning.
Sir John.
Yes, sir. Minia Simon Congo.
The great man, Sir John. Mamintia me boss, the champion secretary Bakope. Usimitia the power. Na anopay church more what the abano. Then you say you were wanted seat me no at Dawa and Sabeka dear boss here that say. The rebel stress and to mine and the Ghana minus empire. But partner say they tell you Papa John Dramani Mahama. Any executive for what you mama Santimano, Yen Pam Panta, the project to go process John Dramani Mahama Bayama Santimano, Embremo, Emma Santimano.
Say hello, good morning.
So he said,
yes, sir.
That's what I'm telling you, that because for the video post.
Miriam, I'm in tune.
What the medical center going to go, Siako? Opa, 24 economy. About the woman show be also. If you're down, so go to the the whole thing. Yes, someone. That's my friend. The chef of the picture, let me be able to put to be here. So, Joe, you have more about here. I don't kind of correct.
Say hello, good morning. Oh, very bad. But you'll be to remember. Nah, hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir John.
Yes, I'm
back. I'm to my boss.
I take him.
But you're killing me, Mayoba. 2 p.m. I can see Asante Mampo.
2 p.m. I'm in you.
Na mama mo abaso na ba champo so bona basuma me na bona beti wa boy juma pa minia maybe at 2 p.m. asem ye amekan let's say share His Excellency Goodluck Obama, John Dramani, Kwame Trump, Abebi Mahama 24 hours ba champo say pese me kra akra ni age ya that's it. Share yes here one let's see before and empire the pa papa no implement 24 hours in there MPP for pa mo twa mo ta na better yet 24 hours has come to stay.
Yo, me that's 2 p.m. Good morning.
Yeah.
Kofi Boache.
This one is piano.
Oh, hi.
Manager and see your Bapa this Samoa. And NDC, you know, hey, man, can you find it in community manager now? Or central and you good there. You can't see that an hour ago. You think you go to a billion Kuya. The Koya, you have to have to move to. From the financial, first name and the key. It was 1.8, to say 1.5. You play with the end of the you're not buying it to me, intimately. And no party, the police committee. You know, I can see committee a banner assembly members.
That's Minia. Mamma for last call in good morning.
The Holy Spirit.
Yes, sir.
I don't you work, Jaco.
Call you ma Mamintio.
That's a Mamintia that you could be. Let me see the power share. So 24-hour economy, no. Tialanchi. Let's do something now. And the better 24-hour economy. It's a beautiful, a better way. The flower, Minto Cow, Solom Quano. They say, Wadaroma, Tabo Moon, they say, Musa.
Thank you very much. Ma, yes, so sorry na. Yanya birthday si na yen sorry. Birthdays me nu we Presla. Minia Todo Enuya ba Presla say today is my sister's birthday. A midwife at Warara Government Hospital in the Savannah region. So happy birthday to you, Presla. And then your birthday. Enjoy your day from your brother Todo. And we also say a happy glorious birthday to Hannah Kwatima Otiabua Kwakumasi. May the good Lord bless you with good health, long life, and prosperity. From Dr. Abedi Kwada, so we keep posting in a draw or we see Hannah Kwatima a special birthday. Yeah, but sorry. Na obibini akohene aba na fe yaba waba betwa so e de bibi nstroma de abreye ba ya pon na mom wa pon twemi na me no de ko sorry no and me ko jo sorry. All right, so yakoi obibini na ba obibini akohene Sina saboko de.
Oh, nyame adom bra na wo so.
Nyame adom bibia e fine.
Na and make an program so very nice. Na me te say obi afre na o say o award de o ma fa ma wo de na je say o ma kalabule.
Kalabule pa.
And of course because we hear the programs course from Monday to Saturday obi otie bia be hu de.
So na wo share chiri.
Ba say
una share chiri.
Ba say me na me share chiri but so na wo tie dwom. Nti say ye body no as John the friend.
And so that Bazo Productions
it's so nice. Now and na bibin suma ye be hwe bibia about and me na so for me no be share.
Okay.
Ye be hwe Mpaibona aye boy no national prayers no say you know the Tuesday right?
Yeah.
Na omampani ekasem no kan bi twa to say e was say na memory your attitude towards everything.
Yeah.
Because and the most important thing. Because say Ghana han empempani ya ka say opa man ya bom paye pa wasase we so a we Ghana film manye yi.
Yeah.
The friend of Pakosi awia 7 days a week obi e bom paye
adum ho de bi mu firi adwuma kɔ omu firi adwuma no makɔbɔ kakra ba no bɛto adwuma so
adum
sɛ adum ne kagye tie
nti opa man ya cause na obi aso nim sɛ ye bom paye so a ye bom paye kyenya nti tim sɛ Ghana ye donyame papa ni mum ade a aka ne sɛ ye bɛyɛ na kadeɛ na ye mema mpaibɔ no so ayɛ adwuma and na the most important thing
asɔfo no
nti na asɔfo no minimum be share na mabusa wo na unum sɛ among for raising issues say who the traditional rulers or especially nananama konfo ni those because say obi enu say ye ba akroma ye wo traditional religion Christian religion and of course Islamic religion nti no say wo frɛ a Christopher na wo frɛ nkramofo a nananam so mo wai because obi kan ye nkramofo ni a Christopher nyina no on beto nananam no mo hadada nti say wo yi o mafirma na akoye partiality. Of course, and I'm hoping say next time Omampani will think like obedient no.
Okay.
Now what to start from say the any patch because almost
there is a committee, maybe committee, you know,
they also part of us.
The attention to it. The committee, I'm say Elvis and that woman, Elvis a free uncle. They should look at it. Na
they are part of it. As you know, won't mean idea na win you on film. Now one can say, omo dey where you on film like Christopher formula, na idea like in cramo formula. Na nananom de no yo mafrim mo nso ayi akisofo ni nkemafo nyina no mba na nananom wo ha twen wo mo dada ndi se o mo asase yo mo dia no awa asase na ayi ti aso no mo yo mafrim
right
ye kwaya na se ye ba
ye kwaya na ye ba na mu na ya ba betie de ye ko nti twen obibini akohene oba sisi ana obibibi mama